Will Cain and S.E. Cupp return.
Adaball Amusements and the owner of Adaball Amusements, Brad Johnson, has decided that the way to help Seattle's homeless population is to outfit them with hoodies. Hoodies emblazoned his bar's logo. SE and I unanimously agree. This is a win-win situation, a
totally
victimless
cool.
crime. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask a different question. What do we think of Brad Johnson? Not the idea, not the ethical dilemma, but of Brad Johnson himself. That's not going to be a question for me and SE. That is going to be a question for our panel in what we were going to call Game of Bros.
Oh, wow, I like it.
All right, let's introduce us to our panel. First of all, panelist number one. Give me your first name, please.
John.
John, how long have you been a bro?
Oh, about 15 years now. I think.
Going on 15 years.
Yeah.
Going on 15 years being a bro. Panelist
discovery period.
Panelist number two. Please introduce us to yourself.
Tony.
And Tony, how long have you been homeless?
Homeless. Ever since my wife got pissed off and just told me to get out. So, pretty much the day after I said I do.
All right, and panelist number three, please introduce us to yourself.
I am also John.
And John, have you ever known anyone homeless?
Yes. Tony.
Yeah. Really? Tony. Tony.
For the record,
Touché,
Tony is
my
not
friend.
homeless.
All right, so we have John
My
1.
wife didn't kick me out.
We have John 1, John 2, and Tony. This is our panel. Fellas, I want to ask you this. I'm sorry. Bros.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. You heard the story of Adaball Amusements. I've introduced you to Brad Johnson, the proprietor of this bar and the genius behind Hoodies for Hobos. I want you to vote on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being you love Brad Johnson, 1 being you hate Brad Johnson. Where he is in your mind right now. John, number 1.
He's about a 6, I think.
A 6. You're kind of riding the fence there, John.
Yeah. I got mixed emotions on this guy.
Okay, you got mixed emotions.
Between creepy and like ridicule worthy is kind of where I am.
Okay. So there's nothing, he hasn't done anything good?
He's done a little good, but I might have to recuse myself a little bit because there are probably hundreds of people wearing monogrammed JGD dress shirts around the Washington, D.C. area from many donated monogrammed shirts to Goodwill.
Oh, of yours?
Those would be your initials.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I'm all that different from this guy because I've been marketing myself for years with monogrammed
to
donated
the
dress shirts.
population in D.C. Okay.
That's good to know. Tony, what is your initial vote on Brad Johnson?
Well, as a bro and a homeless bro, I happen to find him very fascinating, so I would give him a high 8.
Whoa,
Great. Okay.
an
It's
8.
high praise.
You like Brad Johnson.
High praise from
Interesting.
another bro.
That's
Yes.
right. All right, and John, number 2, what is your initial vote on Brad Johnson?
I'm not sure because your tease in the last segment made me think that he was kind of a creep. So I'm going to say 5.
Starting
Again,
at 5.
riding the fence. What is this guy? I mean, you guys can't take a stand?
I need more info.
You see, at least I came right out, and I'm definitive.
I like that about you, Tony.
Yes.
We're gonna give you more info.
Tony, you're a true bro.
Yes, well, I have nothing else to do except
Unafraid
stare
to
at the
take a
walls
stand.
in the alleys because I'm homeless.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to add some evidence to this. I'm going to give you some quotes from Brad Johnson, and then we're going to revote, okay? Feel free to share your thoughts on any of these quotes. Quote number 1. I will post a pic of every new bum we spruce up.
Is that the end of the quote?
That's the end of that one.
Okay. Has your opinion changed?
Oh, John number 2 is nodding.
I love his use of the word bum.
Oh, so he's going up in your opinion.
Yes, I
All
think
right.
he's an irreverent guy, so
And as
he's
a
kind
bum-
of funny.
and as a bum, I do need some sprucing up, so right there.
Some fresh
Wow,
ears.
so two bros actually like that quote.
Well, then let me give you a second quote, a second piece of evidence. I kick it with bums all the time. My whole thing is they just want to get drunk and high like the rest of us, but sometimes they smell funky and downright nasty.
Oh, my God.
He's just one of the guys. He just wants to hang out with the bums, the common people, and he just wants to get wasted. I mean, who in life doesn't want
Now,
something
be
like
honest,
that?
Tony, that didn't move you a little bit off of your 8?
No, not at all.
This is amazing.
I
He's
like
a
my
man
bros
for
a
the
little more
people.
creative though. I think instead of bum, maybe like urban camper or
We don't need
or
to be
something like
politically correct here.
I mean, bum is just common and I don't think that's very bro of him.
Right. It's cliched, right?
Right, yeah. Come up with something a little less offensive, a little cooler.
All right, let me introduce you to quote number 3. Now, after Brad Johnson got a little pushback from the Seattle community suggesting his language in using words like we're discussing is inappropriate, he said this. There's some wet blankets saying I didn't use the proper verbiage. I mean, I call my cat the N-word when no one's around all the time.
What? Oh, my God.
There is Brad Johnson for you.
Wow.
I'm getting open-mouthed, agape stare back from the other room right now.
He's much less of a bro, more of just an idiot.
A tool? Is he a tool?
He's a total tool and
Yeah.
ridicule-worthy, and I wouldn't hang with him for a second. He's terrible.
Tony, have you moved off your 8?
I'm still trying to decipher what he even said there. Could you repeat it to me?
I feel like I'm walking into a trap.
Yeah, this is not good for you, Will.
He said, I didn't use the proper verbiage. What's the deal? I mean, I call my cat the N-word when no one is around all the time.
I don't have a problem with that quote.
Doesn't make it better.
I'd like to point out that he actually has a cat.
Which is not bro.
I think that's the point we're glancing over in this statement, is that he has a cat, so he's immediately not a bro.
Final piece of evidence. This is his final quote and my personal favorite. When discussing why he's capable of helping out the city's homeless, he says, look, I've done well for myself. I've got a Rolex and a Miata.
Hold on. He's got a Rolex?
And a Miata!
He's got a Rolex? All right. He is not a bro. He is off the list.
Wow.
Why are you
Makes me
overlooking the
think he's a
Miata,
man.
Tony? I don't understand
He's
this.
got a Rolex? Screw him.
All right.
But besides a Del Sol, a Miata is probably the least bro car in existence. He's off.
He's
a
off.
Miata.
Let's get a final vote count.
Quick revote, starting with John, number 2. You started out at a 5. You are now at a...
I'm going to give him a 7.
Wow.
He went up in your book.
He's better.
The Miata did it for you. All right, Tony, you
John
revote.
number 2
you
is a
started
simple
out.
guy.
You started out as an 8, Tony. Where are you now?
Yeah, I'm at a 1. He's got a Rolex. He's got a Miata. He's not one of the people.
Massive slide.
Yeah.
Crushed by
John
Tony.
number 1.
Yeah,
done.
he's down in my books too. He's a 1, and mostly because of the cat Miata combo. And if he walks that cat on a leash to his Miata, then he is the worst person in the world.
Bros for life.
Can I make one point?
Game of Bros.
He reminds me of the characters from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And those characters, in my opinion, are bros. And this guy sounds
John
like he
number
watched the
2,
show.
you don't have to defend your vote.
I'm telling you. I
Your
think this guy's
brohood
pretty
is
good.
still intact.
Can I just point out that in Game of Bros, our Game of Bros, SE ended with a high five in the other room between John number 1 and Tony. That's a win. When we come back, equal pay for women. What else would we talk about on Cain Cupp?
Bros.